Of course, it'll be jobs, jobs and more jobs. That's what we're hearing from Annastacia Palaszczuk. Most press conferences throughout this campaign, likely back in high vis again today, Laura, just for something different, as the Labor Party is keen to sandbag these regional seats. Right now we're in the seat of Whitsunday. That's held on a margin of just 0.68%. That's currently held by Jason Costigan, the former LNP member who was booted from the party following harassment allegations. He's again vying for the seat, running as an independent. But a lot of minor parties are keen for Whitsunday as well, so Labor is keen to shore up those votes. We know yesterday the Premier was in Bowen announcing $50 million for cuts in irrigation and water costs for agriculture, businesses and farming communities. She says farmers are vital to keep Queensland moving forward. But in terms of doing no deals, again, we've heard that time and time again, no deals are going to be made. The government says it wants to maintain a majority government. That's, of course, saying this right now, but we know this election will come down to the wire. But in terms of helping other candidates out, like former Deputy Premier Jackie Trad, whose seat is at a real risk of turning from red to green, the Premier has been grilled multiple times about whether or not she will be campaigning with Jackie Trad. Here's what she had to say.
I believe in all of our candidates, and our members are working absolutely very hard, Lydia, absolutely very hard, and Jackie is an important member of my team. So I'm asking Queensland to back all of our Labor candidates across the state.
Would you be willing to hold a minority with the Greens?
I said no deals. It's basically us against everyone else.
So safe to say, I don't think we'll be seeing the Premier alongside Jackie Trad anytime soon. But in terms of Labor's costings, it's finally released them yesterday, saying that they will be borrowing, of course, that $4 billion to get Queensland back on track. But we do know now that Queensland Health will receive cuts to save around $1 billion, even though Labor has said there will be no cuts. Here's the Treasurer.
There are no sales of assets or leasing of assets owned by the people of Queensland. There are no job cuts, there are no cuts to services, and there are no new or increased taxes.
So another busy day in beautiful North Queensland, Laura. Probably not too conducive with swimming, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Brendan, thank you. Anna Rawlings is with the LNP. Anna, the opposition leader has ruled out supporting a controversial minor party policy. Which is that?
Well, Laura, we have had a range of quite controversial policies from both the minor and major parties, of course, including the LNP's controversial and contentious youth curfew crime policy in a bid to reduce crime rates in Cairns and Townsville. But Deb Frecklington is ruling out a policy that's been put forward by the Katter Party. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard this policy. It's effectively to split North Queensland into its own state. Another push is, of course, being led by Jason Costigan, who Brendan mentioned before. Now, he is a member of North Queensland First, which really is self-explanatory there with their aim. But the Katters are pushing for a referendum. They want that to happen 6 months after Parliament is effectively ruled in, and they want North Queensland to split into its own state. Now, the question was put to Deb Frecklington whether she would support this, as polling has shown that a majority of North Queenslanders do support it. She has effectively, though, ruled it out.
It is a no. When I first became the leader of the Liberal National Party, I stood up and I said I want to be a premier for all of Queensland. I wanted to bridge the divide between the southeast and regional Queensland. The best way to save North Queensland is to vote for the LNP.
So certainly no support there from Deb Frecklington. She is continuing her campaign in Central and North Queensland today. We are in the Mackay electorate at the moment. Now, it is quite a safe Labor seat. It's held by the ALP on a margin of 8.3%. But Deb Frecklington back hitting the hustings today, just days out from Saturday.